What's going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings have released an updated officially depth chart ahead of the Week 1 clash against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Now, you always have to take team depth charts with a grain of salt. I think they're required by the league to put them out, but it doesn't have to hold up. Just because a player is listed as a starter doesn't mean that he'll get starter snaps, and just because a guy is listed as the first backup doesn't mean that he'll be the first one in if there's some snaps to be had. But want to run through because there's some interesting points here. So Kirk Cousins, Nick Mullins, yeesh. Running backs, Dalvin Cook, Madison, Kincaid, Ty Chandler, standard. Fullback, CJ Ham, as well as special teams captain. Receivers, Thielen and Jefferson. KJ as 3. Jalen Raegor also listed as the backup with KJ. And then Jalen Naylor bringing up the rear with the gear. Tight ends, starter Irv Smith Jr., backups Johnny Munt, Ben Elfs, and yes, offensive line. So here we go. Well, tackles. Darissa O'Neal, Brandel, and Oli Udoh are your second team, and Vidarian Lowe is on third team standard. Interior offensive linemen starters, Ezra, Bradbury, Ed Ingram. That's right, man. Well, the thing that we knew all along because they traded Jesse Davis's ass, whatever. Backups, Schlotman, as well as Chris Reed. Roster notes. Ingram, a rookie, won the competition at right guard after competing primarily with veteran Jesse Davis, who Minnesota traded to Pittsburgh. Proper use of the whom. Who's writing this? That's amazing. During roster reductions. Also, I don't like calling them cuts. We're going to call them roster reductions from now on. He will potentially be the only new starter for Minnesota's offense compared to last year. Smith remains on track to return by week 1 of the regular season. Also, speaking of reductions, so my kid is going back to school, and we went and got her some new school clothes. That was a wallet reduction. We're already hitting that phase. Defensive ends, 5 techs. Diesel Dalvin, Jonathan Bullard. So after the Vikings had waived Armand for Watts and they ended up with the Bears, it was expected that Bullard was going to start opposite of Diesel Dalvin. Backups, James Lynch and Ross Blacklock, and then Usazio Tomeu coming, bringing up the rear. Now, Blacklock isn't necessarily a 5-tech. The Vikings will use a lot of different sub-packages. They'll use 3, 4, 2-man defensive fronts. So Blacklock, I don't think he's going to be much of a 5-tech. I think that he's going to be working more as a defensive tackle at the 3-tech spot. Nose tackle, Harrison Phillips, and no one else. There you go. Outside linebackers. So we got, what could happen here is on passing downs, they could have James Lynch play on the nose. They did that in preseason. They've done that in previous, under the previous regime, so he does have that ability. Plus, on passing downs, when you're on the nose, you don't need that Vince Wilfork run-stuffing ability per se, depending on down and distance. They also could put Dalvin Tomlinson at the nose at some points. Actually, I don't like that idea. I'm saying it out loud. Blacklock, yes, he could be there as well. Outside linebackers, Daniil and Zadarius Smith, and then you got Patrick Jones second, DJ Wanham as your backups, Luigi Villain, the UDFA rookie out of Wake Forest, brings up the rear. Inside linebackers, you got Kendricks and Hicks, Troy Dye, Brian Asamoah. Cornerback, so this one raises a couple eyebrows. So Peterson and Dancer starting standard, Shondon in the slot, and then Caleb Evans listed as the first reserve because, well, I consider him the first reserve because, I mean, nickel is the new base. So your 2 outside corners, Peterson, Dancer, and Shondon is basically a starter. He's going to play starter level snaps. So Evans getting the nod over veteran Chris Boyd, over fellow rookie Andrew Booth Jr. And Caleb Evans, of respect, has had a phenomenal training camp. He's looked really good in preseason. Booth has dealt with that foot injury. So it's understandable. I don't mean that it's like, hey, well, Caleb Evans is clearly better than Andrew Booth Jr., but I think at this point he has earned that spot. So, I mean, if the Vikings do need to have a couple of snaps from a backup cornerback, would it be Evans first on the field? Possibly. Safety, Harrison Smith, Cameron Bynum, Lewis Seen, and Josh Metellus as the backup. Rooster notes, in contrast to the continuity on offense, the defense has undergone significant overhaul in scheme and personnel. Minnesota is pivoting to a 3-4 base under new defensive coordinator Ed Donatel, and then we're going to circle back to that one. Synergy. The Vikings have 5 players who started the 2021 season opener listed among the 11 first-teamers on defense. Tomlinson, Hunter, Kendricks, Peterson, Harrison Smith. The Vikings have strengthened their defensive core with the additions of Phillips and Hicks among the front 7 and bolstered the pass rush with the signing of Zadarius Smith. Expect some position versatility by Minnesota's defensive linemen. Bynum and Dantzler turned in some nice moments in training camp while working ahead of Minnesota's first 2 picks. of 2022. Cena Booth. Expect a lot of action from Sullivan, a former Packer, as the team's top option at nickel. Special teams, kicker Greg Joseph, punter holder Ryan Wright, the right stuff. Long snapper, the ageless one, Andrew DiPaolo. Kickoff returners, King Kene, and then your backups, you got Ty Chandler as well as KJ Osborne. Now, Chandler hadn't gotten a lot of work, and because it was mainly ISM getting those extra kick return reps. So, then punt returner starter Jalen Raegor, as well as backup KJ, as well as Jalen Naylor. Now, it's interesting that KJ is listed as the first backup because his role as a returner has been reduced since he's really stepped up on the offense. Is this more because Naylor was in concussion protocol and also didn't look that great in training camp? Yes, that could be part of it. Rooster notes, Joseph has continued his torrid kicking throughout the season. Wright won the punting battle with as an undrafted rookie. DiPaolo has been on point. Woo. And Wangu showed so much so quickly as a kick returner during his rookie season. He's the best in the league. He should have been first-team All-Pro. The Vikings hope to get more out of the punt return game this season and recently traded to acquire Raegor from Philadelphia. So that's it. So look at the Vikings' first, updated, unofficial, officially depth chart. Whatever. What do you glean here besides, the Vikings starting Ed Ingram, as well as Jonathan Bullard having the defensive end spot opposite Dalvin, as well as Raegor having the punt return spot? Not really much. Yeah, not really much. But your thoughts are thoughts. The Vikings unofficial depth chart. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.